will intermittent fasting get you fantastic results when it comes to weight loss and creating that tone defined shape that you may be looking to achieve right now? So let's talk about whether you should be doing this and is it really going to help you and project you forward to get these results. So intermittent fasting is when you have a set window of time that you are allowed to eat, and outside of that specific time you're not allowed to eat. So big problem with this: we should not be applying restriction around the type of foods or when you should and shouldn't eat long term, because that's not sustainable. And what's the point of generating any form of result if you cannot sustain it? So by penalising certain times in the day that you cannot eat, this becomes unsustainable, because you may have meals out, you may have breakfast dates with your friends, and suddenly you can't eat because it's not in your fasting window. So that's one of the points that I don't really feel is, potentially positive for you when it comes to intermittent fasting. Second is actually being a female and having hormones means that we have to look after the body. And if you've had years of dieting, potentially you've gone through metabolic adaptation and potentially your body isn't working with you. You've aggressively dieted, maybe you have infrequent cycles, perhaps you have physical and mental stresses going on, and your hypothalamus, which is the component that regulates what your hormones are doing inside of you, and it's like the communicator, and your hypothalamus actually loves easily accessible energy from foods consistently. So actually, from a hormonal perspective, we now know that frequent fueling is positive. And alongside that is when we're trying to create a forever routine with food and get you these results that you can sustain, one of the first points of call, especially if you have a turbulent relationship with food, is to find you a forever routine with food, where there's no restriction and there's no bad food or good food. And to do that, what we need to do is find a menu that works for you, that includes frequent energy throughout the day. It's going to be immensely hard to create a forever routine with food and to gain control of food if you're hungry and you feel like you've got no energy, because you've got these long fasting windows. So personally, I'm not a fan of intermittent fasting, especially if we're really trying to find a forever way of eating for you that's going to be sustainable. And the food and the routine you follow to get these results initially has to be one that you can, create and sustain long term. So if you've got on the intermittent fasting bandwagon up to now and it hasn't generated you the results that you want to see, don't beat yourself up. It potentially isn't the key to success for you and isn't overly sustainable long term, especially if you have a busy social calendar, and you should have a busy social calendar. You don't have to give up those things to be able to get to a place where you're confident with your body shape, and you don't have to give up, your social elements. So if you've got stuck up to now and you haven't found a routine that really works, please do feel free to reach out to me in inbox, and I can really delve in and share with you, what a forever routine looks like that does really work and generate great results. So do feel free to reach me in my inbox, and I will catch you soon.